understand it. You write one book and history dubs you as a bad guy. My good name, Niccolo Machiavelli, slandered forever. I was a diplomat, for heaven's sake, a diplomat. For 14 years. I didn't even have much training and they hired me. Do you really think a country would choose a young villain to represent themselves abroad? Especially a republic as glorious as Florence. Most men from the Renaissance are praised for their revolutionary ideas. And me, the writer of evils. Seriously? Some people even blame me for the bad connotation of the word politician. Others say that Old Nick, which is a British synonym for the devil, is based on me. The nerve of them! At least some people refer to me as the father of modern political science. I prefer that one much better. I should explain where this writer of evils comes from. You see, I wrote a short work called The Prince. It was a book that guided young princes, as was customary at the time to write. However, I guided new princes instead of the traditional hereditary prince. In it, I merely said that security and stability can be easily achieved if a prince is willing to become morally corrupt. That's it! So that may sound a little harsh to modern-day pansies, but guess what? Life is harsh. If you want anything good in life, you gotta fight for it. If you want power, if you want control, you can't wait for it to hand it to you on a silver platter. Why do you think war exists? Those men that rule war know how this world works. I myself spent a lot of time studying conflict as head of the Second Chancery. I established and organized a militia. I served both diplomatic and military missions for many different people, including Pope Julius II and the court of the Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian I. Eventually, I learned enough about warfare and wrote a book called The Art of War. Actually, I wrote a lot of literature. Ecclesia, Mandragola, History of Florence and Affairs of Italy, Discourses on Livy, the list goes on. None of those are dangled in front of me as writer of evils is carved into my forehead. And that's because, quite honestly, there is no evil in them, and they're still my philosophies. Only one book, The Prince, is used to justify the evils they call me. And yet, my philosophies are what gave me the title of the father of modern political science. Unlike the political philosophers before me, I argue that the selfish and competitive nature of humans can be beneficial to the government systems. And surprise, surprise, a lot of modern governments use this philosophy. Britain would be a prime example. Kind of funny though, since the Brits were the first to call me the devil. Why didn't they use any philosophies from good old Thomas More, but his glorious poster boy of good behavior? It's because his ideas aren't realistic. His head's so far up in the clouds he can't even see the ground anymore. He's a delusional idealist, that's for sure. But me, I'm realistic. I call it like it is. Look at the world around you. How many people follow Thomas's good man ideology? And I mean actually practice, not just preach. Few, if any. And how many people realize you have to do bad things in a bad world as I taught? Basically everyone. They praise Thomas, but they follow me. Interesting, isn't it? While my time as a diplomat had little effect outside of Italy and in the world you live in, my philosophies are timeless. The lessons I taught, the books I wrote, all are still relevant. Why then do governments ban my beautiful books, but go ahead and practice what is taught in them? It's quite hypocritical, really. They paint me as evil for being honest about my view on life. Really, aren't they just as bad, if not worse, for practicing them but not admitting it? Perhaps they are doing immoral things to try to keep power, See, children, my body may have died in 1527, but old Nick will not, so long as there are humans out there proving my philosophies. And there will always be humans out there proving my philosophies. Thank you for listening. Addio, cari.